Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cynthia the Audio Bell, back with another Texas Audio Roundup video. On day 2 of the show, I interviewed Dan Loffman, president of Emotiva. I had interviewed Dan at Axpona in 2019. I went a little easier on him this time, as in the Axpona interview, I asked some controversial questions about components from China. A lot of people seemed to really like his transparency in that interview. He had a goal then of moving as much of the fabrication of physical parts of the company back to the U.S., so I did ask him how his progress had been toward that goal since our last discussion, given the challenges of the past couple of years. He also dives into the topic of the global part and labor shortage and gives us insight into how Emotiva is navigating those waters right now. On a personal note, I want to give some background on Dan. He and Jason Stoddard of Shit Audio had the concept of this Texas Audio Roundup and made it happen, providing those that attended with free food and free adult beverages. Dan also hosted a raffle both days of the event and gave away a large number of items, including speakers, headphones, receivers, and emo bucks towards products. Like, you could win a $1,000 coupon towards the item of your choice. I thought this was very generous, and to top it off, if a kid was at the event, he gave them a free pair of headphones. Dan is a super kind guy, his entire staff are kind, and just overall good people. I really think that is the largest contributing factor in what makes Emotiva a brand that I would continue buying products from. Please do not forget to subscribe, turn on all notifications so you do not miss the next video when it comes out, like and comment if you have anything you would like to generate discussion on. Enjoy the video, everyone! Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cynthia the Audio Bell, and I am here with Dan of Emotiva. I interviewed Dan a couple years ago at Axpona in, I believe, 2019, and so I'm here doing a follow-up interview with him here at the Texas Audio Roundup, which is actually presented by both Emotiva and Shit Audio. So
we're
this
excited.
is a really cool event.
Yeah, Jason and I have been friends for many, many years, and we go back, I don't know, a long time when we were young. And we were talking one day, and we said we should just do this little, I had this idea to do a thing called the Indie Audio Alliance, is how I started it. And like all the independent audio companies, we would kind of, get together and maybe do a show together. And so this is kind of the test run to see if that's got any legs. And to keep it simple, to begin with, Jason and I just did it with our two brands, and because it was just easy to make it happen, and we didn't have a lot of people to manage, it was just, we'll try it out and see how it goes. And so it's been pretty good so far. It's been a lot of fun. And
you guys have been marketing as an affordable audio event. What inspired all of this?
Well, I mean, Jason and I have brands that are very, very different, but they have the same underlying concepts and principles and thinking in terms of bringing innovative design, high value. In Jason's case, it's 100% made in the USA, assembled in the USA. You can't make in the USA anymore. But and we do about half of our products in our factory in Franklin, Tennessee. And so we like an American-based company, and we like the direct model because it's an extremely powerful model for both the brand and the consumer. It gives them a lot of value, a lot of closeness with the manufacturer. The relationship gets really strong. Even though it's a remote relationship, you can get a hold of the people that built your products, ask them technical questions. If you have a problem, you're dealing one-on-one with people. And because we have the direct relationship with the customer instead of through the dealer or the distributor, we get all the feedback. We know what's working, what's not working, and it makes our brand stronger because we're really intimately tied in with the end user.
So, but you guys, do you still do the both direct and dealership, or are you just direct now?
So my company has tried a couple of experiments over the course of the last 15 years or so, and we're mostly direct. In the U.S., I would say we're essentially all direct.
Okay.
In Europe, we sell direct in Europe, but we have an office and a partner in the Netherlands that helps us with service and support for those customers, because they don't have to send it back to the U.S. if they have an issue or they don't like it or whatever. And we're going to work on improving that dramatically over the next year or so. That's the next big push we have, is going international, I guess, for lack of a better word. The problem, and so I have distributors in some countries that we just can't logistically service. But we find that, even with that, and they're good people, we find that nobody represents our products as clearly and as competently, if I can use that word without sounding arrogant, as we do. And the customers yearn for a direct relationship with Emotiva. They don't want a filter between us and them. So I'm trying to have that Emotiva experience as we grow the brand internationally, that you have a direct relationship with an international crew in Europe or the UK or wherever, and that you're not going through an intermediary.
Well, I really like all of the things that you're doing with the direct and everything that you're doing with your website. I know you guys have been doing like the custom amplifiers for a while, but going modular and everything you've done to hit a home run with that, and you can just go and build your own amplifier and later on upgrade with modules and stuff. I think that was a really, really good idea.
Well, thank you. It's been incredibly successful. I mean, it started out trying to solve a logistical problem for us, and it's turned out to be a great program. And our Gen 3 X Series has been the most popular and most successful line of amps we've ever built, followed really closely on the heels by the Basic Series. And that's just taken off too.
So what kind of logistical stuff are you facing there?
Well, we can make 34 different models of amplifiers on the X Series platform. We have essentially one power supply and 3 modules will allow us to build 34 discrete models. And if you call us, we have certain models we keep in stock, 7s, 5s, 2s, the common popular ones, 9s and 11s are really popular, so we always have those available. But if you have some oddball configuration, you build your amp online, it gets into the system, we get the order, then we immediately build it, it gets loaded, tested, burned in, retested, a little birth certificate goes on it, and then goes in, and it's out in a couple of days typically. And that's just really powerful, because I could never plan to keep those models available for a guy that needs a 6-channel amp or a 2+4, like a stereo amp with 2 stereo modules. I mean, people have all these different configurations. You can't predict them all. So this way they can build whatever they want,
Yeah, that was something I was actually wondering about, was do you guys keep stuff ready-made for order, or how does that all work? Because I'd imagine with all of that.
Like I was saying, we have all the popular models, 2s, 5s, 7s, 9s, 11s. Those are always in stock, or are constantly being built. And then as the special orders, the weird ones come in. Not weird, but
right.
Unusual
Just like
configurations,
the unusual
less popular
orders.
Configurations, but still needed in the market. There's a need for it, so you want to be able to build it. Those we build as the order comes in, because we don't know when the next time we're going to get this, whatever that configuration is. But the really popular ones, the production team and the management team, who I don't manage the company, they know all that, and then they try to anticipate the demand.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You get a couple of visitors.
Oh, hey guys, I got visitors over here. We're doing an interview right now, so if you can give us 5, we'll be ready. So,
it's okay.
Cut.
It's all right. That's what we got editing for.
Yeah. Anyway, so that flexibility of the X Series has really been powerful, and we have big plans to get even crazier with it. And I don't really want to disclose them yet, because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But we're hard at work on enhancing that even further. So, but that modular approach, we started with the amplifiers, and I saw the value and the success of it. So, all of our processors are modular now. And even though the Basic Series isn't swappable the way that the X Series is, the way they're designed, you can open up our amps and see that we've made everything compartmentalized. So service support is just super easy and quick. We don't have a lot of. We've made the amps, for lack of a better word, modular internally, so that they're very quick to assemble, service, and keep up. And then in our processors, and we have a new reference preamp coming out this year, and a lot of other models that we haven't talked about officially. but those are all built with that same concept of modularity. And it's really efficient, it's powerful, and it gives us a lot of flexibility and contains costs. So it helps with the value component again.
So what's the new reference preamp?
Well, I don't want to talk about it yet.
That's the one you don't want to talk about. Okay,
Yeah, but
got it.
The XSP1 was our flagship preamp for many years, and it was getting long in the tooth. And we've kind of reimagined what a stereo preamp should be, and it's well on its way to being completed now, and it will be absolutely state-of-the-art on all levels of performance in terms of its audio performance and measured performance for the guys that like to measure. But then it has some additional modular capabilities, if you can imagine, that will give it incredible flexibility and configurability in the field and as time moves on. And you'll be able to enhance it and improve it and do all these things that that are not typical of a product like that.
Yeah, I love the configurability and the flexibility of everything you guys have going on. So I was kind of curious, just kind of thinking about the way things are going with Amazon and, Prime one day, next day delivery and all of that. Are you guys thinking in the future maybe you might have stuff on Amazon or might go to something like Best Buy, or are you just going to keep to Emotiva?
No. No offense to Best Buy, but Best Buy is a death knell for a brand like us.
It's kind of like the Walmart, I think.
Well,
but it's huge.
I have to tell you, a number of years back, I went to Best Buy's headquarters, and they were interested in putting us on their online store. And when you talk to me, you go, I don't see the point, because I've got an online store, know, and you don't want to be in there. I mean, you might want to be in their stores, but I just didn't see the value in it. And then you have to give them all the margin, the return programs, the advertising co-op, and all of a sudden your prices double again, right? Or you don't make any money, one of the two, right? And with Amazon, we did sell on Amazon for, I guess, 3 or 4 years. And the problem with Amazon...
Didn't know that.
What's that now?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We did, they were fulfilled by Amazon, they were stocked and shipped, you could buy them Prime, you did that. And the problem with that is it started out when they pitched us on it, it was very affordable, and it was very small money. But over the course of 2 or 3 years, it became just like having another dealer. And then, nobody is finding me on Amazon, or when I say me, Emotiva.
Yeah.
Nobody is discovering Emotiva on Amazon. At first we thought, well, maybe we'll get a new group of buyers that don't know about Emotiva. But people went in and looked for us and bought it, and they would buy it because I want to buy an XPA5 and I want it overnighted, right? I don't want to wait 2 days. I want it
Which
overnight.
is the big boon.
They had a bunch of American Express points, or they had an Amazon card, or they had a gift certificate, whatever the story is. And I appreciate that, and I wanted to do that, but it ended up being so expensive that I would have had to raise the prices. And I don't want to talk. I don't Jeff Bezos suing me. They're PIA to work with, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they just sweep the floor with stuff. We would get returns that were products that we didn't even sell them, and it was just like it's such a big company. There's no recourse. It's just it's the cost of doing business with them.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be really a lot more complex.
It is, and they're a big, incredible logistics machine. I have a lot of respect and admiration for them, but I don't really want to be one of their partners.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell you the last video you did. I don't know if you saw it, but a lot of the stuff that you had talked about and questions you answered about business in general and like components overseas and all of that, there were so many people that commented on that were they were turned around, like basically you sold them on just the transparency and stuff and all of the information you gave. So I thought that was really cool.
I remember a little bit of a rant about something. I remember the basis of it. Yeah.
Oh, you're telling the whole thing about like the difference between the made in China assembled or made in USA assembled in China, USA, all that stuff, and then the trade laws and different things that they were really interested in, which I didn't know either. And then we had talked about some things like how much is made in America versus China. Yeah. And one of the things in the previous interview, which I want to touch on, I'm going to go easy on you and stuff. I don't want to ask you all those questions. But one of the things I wanted to touch back on, because I watched the video again, was you mentioned 24 months from that video that you had some plans to try to bring more of the fabrication and physical parts back here. So, and then with everything going on with COVID, I know it's been weird.
You have COVID, you have, we have interviewed and attempted to do sheet metal, PC boards. And we do PC boards, but what you find out is all the PC boards are being made in China.
Right.
You buy from an American board company, they're subbing it out to China, flying the boards in, and here you go.
Yeah, and that's some of what I remember you telling me too and educating me on, because I had no idea.
Yeah, so we're still, I've been trying to build speakers in the U.S. for a long, long time. I cannot find a wood fabricator who can meet not only the cost that we have, but the quality. So to give you an idea, I had the T1s quoted by a company, like a furniture, not a furniture grade, but a, like with a veneer, like the next generation, and I said, let's get these quoted. And I knew there was a cabinet company, and a guy that I know that is in the loudspeaker business found this guy, and they could do them. And, the cabinet cost was $800 a pair for the wood, with no drivers, nothing, just boxes, right? No packing material, just the wooden box, $800 a pair. And I said, oh, well, that speaker's going to be a fortune, it's just it. So I want to do it, and we keep looking, and we keep striving to do that, but it hasn't, and we have a certain level of finish and materials that we use that, are hard to duplicate, like our anodizing, even though it seems simple, that brush is really hard to maintain and keep it consistent. Mm-hmm. And you have to buy a product today and then buy it in 2 years and have it go in your stack and look like they're all together here, right? And this might be 3 years old from a different guy than that one, but you want them to look the same. And so we spend a lot of time making sure that our anodizing colors are consistent and stuff. So to answer your question in a roundabout way, we build the processors, the boards, and everything are assembled in the U.S. So we buy all the parts, we assemble the boards in Phoenix, and that stuff is done as whole, and everything I can get as reasonable, I'll do there. On the X-Series amp, the modules come from Asia. Mm-hmm. The chassis and materials are a combination of the U.S. and Asia, and then all of our assembly takes place with us. But remember, even if you stuff boards like Jason stuffs boards in the U.S. like we do on our higher-end products, all the parts are from all over the world. There's no American-made resistors and transistors. Well, there might be, but essentially none.
Well, $800 for a cabinet, just the wooden cabinet itself, that seems kind of outrageous.
Well, that's just because there's nobody that's geared up to make these kind of cabinets at reasonable prices and mass producing them.
Yeah.
And when I grew up, I'll go back here, I'm the old guy, right? So when I grew up, you could go to Webmassey in Los Angeles, and all the Infinity cabinets were made by Webmassey. Webmassey made everybody's cabinets, and you could get a really nice veneered box, get it quickly, get it reasonably priced, and you could build beautiful speakers easily. And you go to Call Eminence, you get some woofers made, and you get you could get parts easy. That, by and large, that infrastructure doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Eminence is still out there, but half their stuff is made in Asia or assembled in the U.S. with, Asian parts. They're not stamping, by and large, they're not stamping a lot of that stuff here now and doing yokes and back plates and stuff. So the world has changed dramatically. I would love to build cabinets in the U.S. I'd love to be able to get anodized panels in the U.S., but, it's almost impossible. And, you see a lot of guys like, and Paul over at PS Audio is a good friend of mine, all of his stuff's painted, all of his Stellar series, it's all powder coated because you really can't get consistent anodizing done. Mm-hmm. And I really want to keep I'm pointing at products, to be honest. I'm really focused on keeping the value component in there. So
it's a balance.
Yeah, it's an imperfect business in the sense that what you want to do, and then what the practical realization of that are sometimes very difficult to achieve. And COVID has only compounded everything.
Yeah. I work in the computer industry, and I know. So before COVID, we started to see some shortage in microchips globally, and then COVID just kind of took it off the board.
You have no idea.
So how are you guys dealing with the global part shortage and the labor shortage and all of that, and just the impact of COVID?
Well, fortunately our team is very stable, so our labor on our side has been good. Our partners that we've used, we don't jump around. We have partners that we've been with since the beginning of the company. We works with somebody in Asia, and we just stick with them. You know, we build a deep relationship.
Very cool.
And they become kind of an extension of our family and our company in a way. And we're very, and I spent a lot of time in Asia. I remember my other story about I was an OEM guy over there. So all I did was travel Asia and meet factory guys and build products that I made in China and imported or exported to the U.S. and Europe. So we picked a couple guys that we really liked and trusted, and we've just stuck with them forever. And when the pandemic hit, and you know, there's a combination of the pandemic and then just unprecedented demand for semiconductors. You know, it's crazy. You know, cars are not cars anymore; they're computers, and you know, telephones, and just the volume of components, along with the logistical issues of the pandemic, has created a big problem. So we're very lucky. Lonnie has a great relationship with ADI, which makes our DSPs for all of our processors, and we've been able to keep ADI processors in stock for our main DSPs. We have redesigned a number of products and taken parts that were unavailable out and redesigned different parts in a transparent fashion where people didn't know we did it.
That was going to be one of my questions. Like, had you had to redesign anything, and how did that work out?
We've had to redesign. I'd say anything that's got a digital component to it. We've had to change microprocessors. We've had to change, not DSPs, thank God. But yeah, we've done a lot of re-engineering to, you know, just voltage regulators, simple things that you go, oh, these are popcorn. No, man, you have to. You know, we've had products done. The reference preamp is one example. We've had them done, and then you can't get the parts for a year and a half. So Ray has to redesign it to get a part that will work, and that's delayed the development, the release of it. You know. And so there's been a lot of that in the background that we don't talk about a lot, but it's been a huge challenge. But we have everything in stock and shipping, and we are solid for production for the rest of the year. And I think the situation will not resolve itself, but get better in 23. I think we still got some pain ahead of us.
Yeah.
But, you know, the great thing about us is, you know, even though we're building for a little audio company, maybe a product, in the world of manufacturing, you know, we're nothing. You know, they do what we do in a day, in a year. When in a year we might, you know, sell 10,000 or something. Well, these guys they're looking for 10,000 parts a day. So I'm kind of like on the periphery. Oh yeah, you need 1,000 of those, I can get those to you. If you need 1 million, maybe not. Right?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of made people, I think, more ingenuitive. I know that a few people have had to redesign stuff. So, I don't know. What would you say is like the most challenging thing that you guys have had to redesign or come up with a new idea for? I
mean, we had to change all the microprocessors in our front panels. Every one of our little products has a front panel micro, and we use them by the thousands, and then you can't get them. You know, can't get them for years. Right?
Oh my goodness.
So we had to change brands. We found a brand that would work. Then the code's supposed to be transferable on them. It's not, you know, because there's timing issues in the code and simple things you think, oh, that's nothing. They turn out to be little headaches for you. And so, you know, digital volume controls are impossible to get right now. So the new MC1 and the new MR1, our team came up with a discrete digital volume control that doesn't use the same, you know, like a Roam multi-channel, like an 8-channel volume control. We're doing it all discrete now. And we have those little cards that plug in there. And that was a major redesign, major firmware rewrite. I mean, a huge amount of work. And we just, because we're an engineering-driven company, you just do it.
It sounds like fun, though, in a way.
It's challenging, but it's very stressful because you also have to keep shipping product and keep the wheel moving to keep the bills paid and the people working and all. So it's been an interesting year or two.
Apparently we're being kicked out of the room, so...
My own people are kicking us out. They want to have the show continue, so we have to go.
But we're so glad to be here at this show and see Dan and Emotiva and Cheapaudioman put this on, basically helping to get an affordable audio show started, and hopefully this becomes an annual thing. So.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. And remember, Emotiva ain't shit. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.
Good to see you.